Story time with Fergie and friends.
Well, hello everybody, and I'm just so thrilled to be there with you on this video. And we're all here at Buttercup Cottage, which is Little Red's house, and we're all saying a big hello. This is Little Red's Summer Adventure, written by me, and it's illustrated by Sam Williams. We love Sam Williams, we think he's great, and it's published by Simon & Schuster, and it's a lovely, lovely book. And you know what? I had such fun writing it because I really let myself go into my imagination. It's Buttercup Cottage, here it is, and this is Roni the pony, and she has a pink nose. And when my children were young, they'd say, tell us another story, tell us another story. And I'd say, well, there's a pony, and the pony's called Roni. There's Roni the pony, and there's the bear, and Gino the dog, and there's Little Blue. Look at him go. He's fantastic. It was a sizzling hot summer's day at Buttercup Cottage, and butterflies fluttered and bees buzzed busily amongst the daisies and the clover. Gino ran between Little Red and Little Blue, wagging his tail as usual and barking happily. I'm just so excited, cried Little Blue as he jumped from foot to foot. The river noodle boating bonanza is always so much fun. What a buzz of a day. Roni stood by the wonky wooden wagon. Oh, do we have to go? She asked grumpily. I always end up giving pony rides and it's just too hot. I want to stay in the shade. Giddy up, said Little Red cheerfully. You know how much everyone loves your rides. You're the star attraction. She plopped a floppy hat on Roni's head. This will keep you cool, she said. Roni smiled out of the corner of her mouth. She was secretly pleased about being so popular. All right then, she snorted, so as long as I have an enormous bucket of iced carrot juice to drink. That would be the ticket, wouldn't it? They hadn't gone far when all of a sudden a great pigeon skidded onto the roof of Wonky Wooden Wagon. I really must practice my landings, he said. Blixley Bill guffawed Roni, happy to see her old friend. I knew you'd come. Wouldn't miss the river noodle boating bonanza for the world, chuckled Blixley Bill. What's the prize for the winning boat this year? A chance to turn the magic key on the wonky wooden wagon, said Little Red, so that it turns into a super summertastic surprise, interrupted Little Blue, jumping up and down as he always does. Just then the wonky wooden wagon trundled around a bend in the lane and the river noodle came into view. It's very lucky I wrote this because I think I might get slightly tongue-tied with all these some tiddly-tiddly-tastics. And what an amazing sight it was. Jumping jelly beans, exclaimed Little Blue as he looked on in an awe. Little Red was speechless. The river had never looked so beautiful. Look how beautiful. Oh, Sam Williams, you did illustrate this beautifully. Purdy pranced busily by the boathouse. I've made heaps of juicy jelly, baby jelly, marvellous marshmallow meringues and whipped watermelon ice cream. She said proudly, I just need some help to push the jelly boat into the water. It's going to be a floating, boating sweetie bar. Scrum-tum-tum-licious, said Little Blue, smacking his lips together. Look, we've bought these balloons and streamers to decorate the boathouse. Little Red delved into the box of paper hats and started to hand them to all of the contestants. Then she called for them all to climb aboard the boat, please. I love the badger's painted wheelbarrow and the squirrel's watering can is beautifully polished, she whispered to Bear, but the robins look so pretty in their little teacup, and don't the rabbits look dandy in their old boot too? What do you think of our Hardwick House gravy boat? Called Mole. Surely the prize is ours, added Vole. Let's just wait and see, replied Little Red kindly. Oh, look, the field mice have really gone to town with their cheese board. What a clever idea. Very clever idea. And my goodness, a boat full of holes, giggled Little Red. How are you going to keep afloat? Ladles, ladles. Whoops, not ladles, ladles, spluttered Duck and Goose, bailing out frantically. How on earth are you going to decide who wins, puzzled Little Blue. I'll have a careful think while we go over to see how Roni's getting on, replied Little Red. Roll up, chirped Blixley Bill, helping a group of frogs onto Roni's back. Laughing leapfrogs, croaked the littlest frog. I could never jump this high. I can even see Hardwick House. Is everything tickety-boo? Asked Little Red. I suppose so, muttered Roni. But surely it must be time for a break. Little Red carried over a bucket of ice-cold carrot juice. Have a good long sip and a quick kip while I announce the boating bonanza winners, she snuggled. as she snuggled and loved Roni's muzzle. Little Blue honked his horn loudly, and at once there was a hush. The only sound came from the whispering waters of the River Noodle. This year, the boats are more spectacular than ever, announced Little Red, but there has to be a winner, and I've decided that the prize should go to... the rabbits! Hooray, hurrah, whoopee! Everyone cried and clapped. Little Red carried the baby rabbits up the ladder so that they could scamper onto the roof. But just as they were about to turn the key, a magpie swooped down and snatched it clean away. Oh, you naughty, nasty nuisance, exclaimed Little Red as the magpie soared into the sky. But the key was too heavy for the magpie, and it fell into the River Noodle with a huge splosh. Coconut carumbas, shrieked Little Blue as he ran to the water's edge. We'll never find that key now. At that moment, Mr. Ron Bow popped his head out of the water. Hello, everybody. He said, you'll never guess what just happened. There I was, swimming along, minding my own business. Then, out of nowhere, an enormous key boffed me on the end of my nose. Really not on, is it? I'm so sorry, said Little Red. I'm very sorry. It's the key to our wonky wooden wagon, but a very naughty magpie just stole it. Is there any chance you could get it back for us? Okay, lass, I'll do my best, said Mr. Rombo. Yep, giving a quick salute and diving beneath the surface. Moments later, he popped back up again. Yes, terribly sorry, my dear. He puffed. What did you ask me to do? You know us trout. Memory's like a goldfish. Ha ha ha. The key, began Little Red. Oh, yes, of course, silly me, apologised the trout. Won't be a tick. And with that, he splashed back into the river and then back up again. I hate to be a nuisance, he spluttered, but if you could just remind me, would you remind me? Oh dear, said Little Red, I think we might need someone else's help right now, don't you? As quick as a flash, Little Red reached into her sack of smiles and took out their magic bubble blower. She began to blow tiny rainbow-coloured bubbles all over Gino's fur. All of a sudden, fizz, pop, flash, bang, wallop, and Gino turned into, you guessed it out there, a dogfish. Of course. In one graceful movement, he dived into the River Noodle. There's Colonel Rainbow, Ron Bow even. Down, down, down he doggy paddled. Sarah, did you really write that? Yes. Doggy paddled. Past forgetful Mr. Ron Bow. Past a winking, whiskery catfish. Gino was desperate to give chase, but knew he was on a very important mission and kept on swimming. Suddenly he saw the golden magic key half buried in the riverbed. Gino flicked it free with his tail. Bravo! Shouted the crayfish, who were watching in amazement. Look, there they are. How amazing. Well done. I like the fact that Gino wanted to run after the catfish. With a triumphant splash, Gino leapt out of the water, dropping the key at Little Red's feet. Well, blow me down with a feather, exclaimed Blakesley Bill. Fish-tastic, cried Little Blue as he cartwheeled round in circles. Gino shook himself dry and back into his doggy shape. Woof, woof, he barked. He was happy to have a tail to wag again. Gino, you're a hero, cheered Little Red as she kissed his head. And now, said to everyone, the little rabbits shall turn the magic key on the wonky wooden wagon. I'll circle overhead to make sure that naughty magpie doesn't come back, said Blakesley Bill as he prepared to take off. There they all are. How exciting is that? Let the surprise now start before our eyes, announced Little Red, with a puff of smoke and a whiz and a whirl, and a clatter and a clatter and a flicker of tiny fairy lights. The wagon turned into the most beautiful carousel. Each one of the brightly painted horses looked just like Roni, our faithful pony. Splendiferous! Cried Little Blue. Wow! Everyone gasped as they climbed onto the little horses. The sun was beginning to set as the carousel spun round and round, and the River Noodle looked even more magical than ever. Thank you, everyone, for such a wonderful day, said Little Red. I think this has been the best boating bonanza ever. And thank you to World Book Day for being able to allow me to take you on an adventure and to meet Little Red and her summer adventure. Well done, everybody. Thank you so much.
With Fergie and friends, with Fergie and friends.